Hello everyone. In this video, we will be discussing about dishonor of the bill. In previous video, we have already learnt about honoring the bill with different options. Now, concept number 6. Dishonor of bill with different options. What does dishonor means? Dishonor means non-payment by the drawee. Okay, we will elaborate it with our different options. Options are same as in the honor of bill options, meaning of that, and then journal entry. Understand this. The first option we had is retaining the bill. Retaining the bill means what? Retaining the bill. The same example, A sold goods to B. B accepted the bills receivable. Now A has the bills. Okay. On the due date, what happens? A takes that bill and went to B's house and told B to pay that amount. But B is saying, I will not pay any amount. Then it means he has not made any payment, and we know that on the due date, the value of the bills will become zero whether the person drawee pays the money or does not pay the money. Now, what will be the journal entry in this case? According to us, who are we? We are A. In the books of drawer, I will mention journal entry in the books of drawer A here. Now, in the books of drawer A, what will be the journal entry? Think according to A. What is A thinking? I have the bills. I went to the B's house, but B did not make any payment. It means I will say that now the bills worth has been gone. Bills receivable is of no use now. I will take that money again from whom? Again from B. It means the drawee will become the debtor again. So we will write drawee account debit to bills receivable. See, understand. When A sold goods to B, what did he write? B account debit to sales. Then when we received bills receivable, what did we write? Bills receivable to B. So B's account we closed because we knew that now we have bills receivable. The day bills receivable, we will give it to the B. He will give us the cash. B was not in our books. Drawee was not in our books. But now drawee is saying, I will not pay anything in the bills receivable. It means now I told him, I am writing your account again. I am writing your name again in my books of accounts, because now I have to take money from you, because you are not giving me any money against the bill and the bills receivable is of no use. Now moving to the next point. Second point we have here is bill sent for collection. What happens in the bill sent for collection? We know that A has the bill. A gave that bill to whom? To bank. In bank there is a particular system, there is a particular team who takes that bills receivable, and then on the due date they will go to B. They went to B's house, B's office, and B is telling that bank that I will not give you any money against that bills receivable. Bills receivable was given by A to the bank. So on the due date, A tells bank, did you take that money from B? I gave you one job to take that money from B. Did you complete that? Bank says no, I could not take any money from B. So it means we will write that we have to take the money from B now. So again drawee account debit to, we cannot write bills receivable. Why? Because bills receivable we had already given to bank for collection. So I will write it to bills sent for collection account. Very simple. Now see, what's the third point here? Third point is discounting of bill. In discounting of bill, what had happened? A has the bill. A goes to the bank. A provides the bank that bill, and then bank provides a short-term loan. This all we have already know these stories in the previous video. Short-term loan given to the, now on the due date bank goes to the B. He goes to the B and what happens? He tells the B to pay the money. B is not paying anything. So bank will come back to us and he will say give the money because B is not giving me the money or anything. So we will write drawee account debit. Remember this, whenever it is dishonored, drawee account will be debited in the last entry. Drawee account debit to bank. Why bank? Because I have to pay the money to bank. And from whom will I take that money? From drawee. Very simple. Now, the fourth case, or you can say the fourth option we have here is endorsing the bill. What had happened? A has the bill. A gave that bill to C, and on due date C went to B's house and told B to make the payment. B is saying I don't have any money, I cannot give you any money. C got angry. C went back to A and he asked money from A. So A had to pay the money because A borrowed money from C. So we are writing journal in the books of A, and what will we write? We will write that I will take money from drawee. Who is drawee? B. So drawee account debit. And to whom have I paid the money? To my creditor C. Drawee account debit to creditors. I have to pay money to him now. This will be our journal entry. See, it is very simple. You have to just focus that whenever bills are dishonored, drawee account will be debited always. It can be bills receivable. If it is bill sent for collection, then bill sent for collection. If it is bank, then bank. If creditors, then creditors. Simple enough. One more thing we have to remember here is, in the books of drawee, what will be the journal entry? Journal entry in the books of drawee. What will happen? Before that, I have to describe one particular thing to you. There is a department in government, that is notary public. What is the work of that notary public? To regulate that bills of exchange market, that who has issued the bills and to whom and all. Now, whenever any bill is dishonored, the work of notary public is to charge notary charges from that particular customer. Okay, you can say it is like an expense, or you can say it is like a fees we have to pay to the government if your bill is dishonored. Why? Because government says you have wasted our time, you are not making any payment, so these are the notary charges you are supposed to pay. Remember one thing, we have to remember that notary charges are always borne by drawee, but drawee is not there at the bank. Who is there? Drawer is there, because A has the bill. A has the bill, so bank will say A to make the payment for the notary charges. A pays the notary charges, but now A is asked the B, he calls the B, he calls the drawee and says, now you will give me the amount for the bill and you will give me the payment for notary charges also. So remember one thing, that noting charges are paid by drawer but borne by drawee. In the books of drawer, there will never be maintained a noting charges account. Noting charges account will never appear. It will only appear in the books of drawee. Okay. So we will write here, in the books of drawee, the journal entry will be bills payable account, debit, because drawee, or in our example B, did not make any payment for that bills payable. So bills payable was his liability. He is not making any payment. So that liability for him has gone. Now what are the charges? Noting charges. This is the expense. Noting charges account, debit. Okay. To whom they are supposed to pay? To whom B is supposed to pay? To the drawer. Drawer account. Very simple. Now remember this, noting charges is always debited in the drawee books. It will never be credited anywhere else. Now moving further, we will solve few questions for dishonor. Now understand this. Dishonor of bill. Question we have here is, on 1st January, Raleigh owed rupees 50,000 to Polly. It means what? Raleigh had to pay 50,000 to Polly. On 1st Feb, he accepted a draft for 3 months drawn on him by Polly. Drawn on him by Polly, it means Polly is drawer and Raleigh is drawee. On the due date, the bill was dishonored. Okay, it means on the due date, Raleigh denied to pay any amount. Okay, the noting charges were 500. Okay, fair enough. Now pass the journal entry in the books of Polly. So what will we write in the books of Polly? Understand this. In the books of Polly, what is happening? First thing is, we drew the bill. We are who? We are the Polly. So we drew the bill. Bills receivable account debit. How much? 50,000. On whom did we draw the bill? Raleigh. So Raleigh account 50,000. Simple enough. After that, what is they saying? Bill is held by maturity by Polly. In the first point, they are saying bill is held by maturity by Polly. It means Polly did not endorse the bill, Polly did not discount the bill, Polly did not send the bill for collection. Polly has the bill till the due date. Okay. So on the due date, what is happening? On the due date, what is happening? When Polly went to Raleigh's office, Raleigh saying, I will not pay you any amount. So we wrote that now we will receive amount from Raleigh. Raleigh account debited. How much amount we have to receive? We will receive 50,500. Why? Because 50,000 we had to receive for the bills. And we had paid the cash also of how much? Of 500 for the noting charges. Okay. Now moving further, second part. See, in all the parts, first journal entry will be same because you are drawing the bill. So you can do one thing also, that you can just write in the first line and then write the point 1, 2, 3. what I am doing is I am just writing 1, 2, 3 and just copying that entry again so that we can understand in a better manner. Okay. Bills receivable account debit to Rolly 50,000. What is happening in the second case? Polly endorsed the bill in favor of Golly immediately. It means, what did Polly do? Polly gave that bill to Golly. So we write Golly account debit 50,000. We gave the bill to Golly, so bills receivable account 50,000. Simple enough. After transferring, what happened on due date? See, Polly was there, Rolly is there. Polly transferred the bill to Golly. Now, on the due date, Golly went to Rolly's house. Rolly says, I will not make any payment. So what did Golly do? Golly went back to Polly and told Polly that you have to make the payment. So now, on the due date, what is the condition for Polly? Now Polly understands that Polly has to receive money from Rolly. Polly has to receive money from Rolly and pay money to Golly. So Polly writes receive money from Rolly. So Rolly account debit, because we have to receive in future 50,000 and we have to pay to whom? Pay to Golly. Golly account 50,000. Understood? Now understand this. The figure what we have written here, it is not 50,000 only. Sir, why? But it was 50,000 only in bills. No, understand this. It will be 50,500. Why 50,500? Because of the 500 rupees noting charges. So we will write 50,500 we'll take from Rolly and we will give 50,500 to Golly. Now after that, in the third point, again first entry is same only. Bill is discounted with the bank at 12% per annum immediately. So bill is discounted with the bank. So we will write bank account debit. Discounting charges account debit. To bills receivable. So bills receivable were 50,000 rupees. We went to the bank and we asked the short term loan from the bank. So bank deducted discounting charges. How much? 12% only for 3 months. So the amount will become 1,500 and here it will come 48,500. Simple enough. Now after this, what has happened on the due date? On the due date, see what is the scenario? Polly, Rolly. Polly went to the bank and discounted it. So this is the discounting entry what we have already passed, that we have got a short term loan. What happens on the due date? Bank goes to Rolly and asks for the payment. Rolly says, I will not make any payment, I will not pay. So bank goes to Polly and tells Polly that we gave you short term loan on the basis of your bills receivable, but now your bills receivable is of no use because Rolly is not making the payment. So Polly says, okay sir, do not shout, I will take the payment from Rolly and I will pay you. It means Polly says, I will take the payment from Rolly, Rolly account debit. How much? 50,500 and I will pay you to bank. Account 50,500. This is the total scenario in the books of Polly. Understand? Rolly will be debited on all the due dates whenever there is a dishonor. Rolly account debit to bank, Rolly account debit to Golly, Rolly account debit to bills receivable and to cash. Simple enough. Thank you so much.